This time, we stayed at Jal City Hotel. This building is right next to Aomori Prefecture's Tourist and Product Center, a spam. It looks quite like a building from an evil organization, which made me wonder, but since it is a tourist and product center, I'll head there later. The current time is 11:30 a.m. So, since I am quite hungry, the first thing I'll do is go have lunch. Today's lunch is here. It says Gonso Aomori Nake Dan, so I'm planning to have a seafood bowl here. First, I bought a ticket for 1,500 yen and now I'm heading to exchange it for food with this red ticket. For food exchange, it's at the first place. Here, they take one ticket and give you the food. Now, I'll go around and add various seafood toppings. It's a fun way to enjoy this place. Could I please have one serving of Nebuta? Thank you. With 1,500 yen, I made a seafood bowl with my favorite toppings. It was delicious. If you ask if it will fill you up, it might not, but I don't think it's a place for filling up your stomach. So, let's think of it as it is. If you can eat that much for 1,500 yen, I think it's a good deal. If you were to eat something like that in Fukuoka, you wouldn't be able to get it for 1,500 yen. It would probably cost between 2,000 and 3,000 yen. Here is a building I always wanted to see. It's called Aga, but it used to be a shopping center. However, now it's the Aomori City Hall, station front office. In other words, a former shopping center was repurposed into a city hall. It's surprising that such things can happen. In the past, there was a compact city concept, an effort to address declining birth rates and an aging population. This was one of the roles of Aga. It was supposed to attract people and fulfill such a role. However, Aga eventually went bankrupt, and now it's the city hall. But it still looks like a shopping mall. Interesting. The structure clearly looks like a shopping mall, but inside, there's the citizen section. It's quite spacious. The atrium space was likely there since the shopping center days. If I act too suspicious, I might get approached, so I'll leave quickly. Once inside, it retains the shopping mall layout, so spending too much time here might make me run out of time. So, I won't linger. This time, I won't do that. Next, I'm heading to the ass farm that I showed you first. The tourist spots in Aomori City are all gathered around this area, so I think it's quite easy to access them. The Jomen archaeological sites in Hokkaido and northern Tohoku are registered as a World Cultural Heritage, so Ass Farm is also hosting such events. It seems they're currently doing something like that. The place where I had lunch earlier was here. Aomori Fish and Vegetable Center. I walked from there to Aomori City Hall Station Front Office, Aga, and after a bit of walking, I'm now at the Aomori Prefecture Tourist and Product Center, Ass Farm. The footage I just saw was from summer, but next, there's autumn. The summer footage was themed around nature, and it certainly made me want to see more of the others. It was quite an interesting video. Looking at the guide inside the building, there seemed to be a lot of Aomori-related things like jaw exhibits. Now, I'm heading to the 13th floor observation deck. From here, you can get a panoramic view of Aomori. Over there is Shin Aomori Station. And over this way is Aomori Station. The memorial ship Hakoda Maru, which I'll visit later, is the ship over there. I've come to the opposite side. What you see over there is Aomori Prefecture's symbol, Mount Hakoda. Probably, the best place to view the entire area around the city is from this observation deck. Here, you can see how Aomori's port town developed, represented through stained glass. The oldest one here is this. At that time, it wasn't called Aomori. Over there, you can see Mount Hakoda. And in front of Mount Hakoda is this small forest. This was what people crossing the sea saw, appearing as a blue forest, which became a landmark, leading to the name Aomori. And next is this stained glass. This is from the Edo period. You can see the Kitami Bune. These were ships that carried marine products from Azochi to people in Osaka, traders from Osaka, who circulated them within the country and sold them in large quantities to Edo. This was how they accumulated great wealth. One of the known ports for these Kitami Bune was the port of Aomori. And next to that is modern Aomori. This is something that many Japanese people have probably seen. The Nebuta festival. On the final day, fireworks are launched and the port of Aomori spreads out with beautiful views. Now, I'll be going down from this observation deck, walking along the road, and heading towards the ship you can see over there. What I thought upon coming to Tohoku was that it's incredibly cold. The first time I flew from Fukuoka to Ibaraki Airport, I was wearing short sleeves in Fukuoka. But when I arrived at Ibaraki Airport, I felt a bit chilly. Maybe it was because it was nighttime. From there, as I gradually moved further north towards Tohoku, it kept getting colder, and now I'm wearing long sleeves. Another surprising thing is that the sunrise and sunset times are earlier. As a result, my wake-up time also naturally becomes earlier, and yesterday I woke up at 4 a.m. and went around sightseeing. It's interesting to experience how even within the same country, such time differences can occur. In the past, ships used to travel from the north direction of Aomori City and Aomori Prefecture to Hakodate City in Hokkaido. Taking the Aoi from Aomori and the Kaku from Hakodate, it was called the Seiken ferry. Now, with the opening of the Seiken tunnel, the ferry service has been discontinued. The name Seiken is derived from the combination of sei, from Aomori, and kan, from Hakodate. The Seiken tunnel now serves this role. The ferry service has thus been phased out. Now, behind us is a monument marked Seiken Ferry War Damage Monument. As the name suggests, this monument commemorates the damage suffered by the Seiken Ferry during World War II in 1945. In other words, this monument commemorates the ferries that used to connect Aomori to Hakodate, which were lost during the war. Many ordinary citizens were also affected. This monument serves to remember those wartime losses. The Seiken ferry ceased operations with the opening of the Seiken tunnel. Until then, you can see what used to pass through here by looking down. There are railway tracks laid out. What I mean is that the Hakodate Maru over there was a ferry for trains. I hope that helps explain it. Trains were loaded onto it and headed towards Hakodate. So if you look beyond the railway tracks, you will still see the Aomori station. Here, you can see the appearance of Aomori City in the 1950s, as well as scenes from Aomori Station nearby. I'm not particularly knowledgeable about trains, so I can't provide much explanation, but I think you might enjoy the visuals. Earlier, there was a wax figure selling apples on the ship, but when you think of Aomori, apples are definitely associated with it. Aomori is famous for apples. I'm heading to a specialty store for apples now. The building behind me is a specialty apple store. Here's a bit of extra information about why apples became so famous here. The first apples were brought to Aomori Prefecture during the Meiji period. Before the Meiji period was the Edo period. During the Edo period, there were many samurai across Japan. However, by the Meiji period, with the abolition of feudal domains and other reforms, the samurai class was eventually abolished. So, what would those samurai who had earned their living during the Edo period do next? The samurai in Aomori Prefecture began to grow apples. So, due to this, the production volume in Aomori Prefecture increased, and what further accelerated this was the opening of the railway connecting Ueno Station with the Tohoku region. Even now, if you go to Ueno Station, you will find a monument with a poem by Takuboku Ishikawa. It's a poem that goes, "In the bustling station of my hometown's accent, I go to listen to it." So what this means is, the poem reflects a nostalgic feeling for the accent of Tohoku. When visiting the station at Ueno, one would hear people speaking with that accent, which adds to the nostalgia. It's a song about feeling nostalgic when hearing that accent still spoken. I've digressed a bit, but what I wanted to say is that in the end, Aomori's apples became widely consumed in Tokyo thanks to the opening of the railway. So that's the story. Because of this, Aomori's specialty is known to be apples. And that's how it came to be. Since we're here, I'd like to have some apple juice or something. They should have some. As expected from Aomori, there seems to be a variety of apple juices available. Although it's themed around apples, it seems it's not strictly an apple specialty store. Now, I'm heading towards the striking red building right in front of us. It's called Nebuta no Iwa Rasa. I asked if I could film, and they said it's okay, so I'll be filming thoroughly. This Warasa building in Aomori Prefecture is famous for its festival, the Nebuta, and it features exhibits related to it. They have something called Make Your Own Nebuta, so let's give it a try. Challenging myself as a Nebuta artist. You draw with your fingers. I think it will show up over here. Like this, drawing eyebrows, and it's showing up. I'll keep going. How does this look? It looks a bit awkward. As you move further along, you'll see various Nebuta floats from different years lined up. And in the opposite direction, there are photos of the 2021 large Nebuta floats all lined up. The themes typically include historical figures like Murakami Yoshitaka, Ganryujima, and Kanjincho. For those interested in Japanese history, there are many recognizable themes, so viewers can enjoy it as well. Kanjincho is very popular. The sword of Kusanagi. What else? Yashima. So cool. There's so much variety. I can't see it all. I haven't been to a festival in a long time. Seeing something like this brings back memories. Oh, amazing. It's incredible. It's darkened, so it really feels like a festival. What's this? What is it? Is that Susanoo? Susanoo, I see. So, is this the sword of Kusanagi? And the figure in the back is Kushnadaheim, I guess. Is that Yamada no Orochi? I can't see it clearly, but what is it? Next to it, you can see sketches. These are drafts. These are preliminary sketches that are used as the basis for making the Nebuta. When I was in university, I majored in art, and we had a class where we made Nebuta. Though not this large. It was about a quarter of the size of this one. It was quite a challenge. Making these is tough. As for the Nebuta of Susanoo, I previously thought it might be Yamada no Orochi, but actually, it is not. According to the explanation there, it is written as Eki, which means demon of plague, using the kanji for plague and demon. This Nebuta depicts Susanoo fighting against the demon of plague. Susanoo is known as a deity who drives away epidemics, so this depiction fits well with the theme of the time. And what's amazing is, this is a bronze award winner. I wonder what the silver and gold award winners are like. So my expectations are rising. They're over there, so let's go take a look. The silver award-winning Nebuta. I was wondering what it could be, but it seems to be from water margin. I'm not very familiar with water margin, so I'm not sure. And here's the prestigious Gold Award winner for 2021. It's a Nebuta featuring Raijin and Fujin. On the left side is Raijin, the god of thunder. And on the right side is Fujin, the goddess of lightning. Fujin is holding a mirror that is said to reveal evil people. I don't know all the details, but many people might recognize the names. I think a lot of people might have heard of them. And here, finally, we have the figure of Abe no Seimei with a pentagram drawn on it. Each of these displays is full of dramatic impact. Even though I am pulling back the camera, they are so large that they can't fit into the frame. It's amazing. What is this? Is it Fujin and Raijin? I'm satisfied. You probably don't get to see something like this very often, so if you have the chance, I think it's worth stopping by. It's a facility I would recommend. Next time, I hope to experience not just inside the building, but actually outside and watch the Nebuta festival. That concludes today's video. Thank you for watching.